Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. So, y'all know my little secret. I sit with a lap blanket. Hmm. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Monday morning's edition of Contracting Chatter. I'm your host, Luciana Turner. We're discussing all things government contracting and business this morning. I didn't turn off my notifications, but that's okay. Grab your contractor's notebook, your beverages. There's something going on with my streaming service. That's why I'm a little confused. It's giving me, I can't chat. So I apologize, everybody, on my streaming service. I can't chat with you this morning. So I see your message. If you're chatting, I'll respond to you after the stream is over. There's something funky going on, and I would have to stop the stream to deal with it, and I don't want to stop and start over again. So, good morning, everybody. Mm. You have your favorite beverage, you have your contractor's notebook. All right, you let your business bestie know we're live. Okay, because over here we don't believe in growing alone, and that is the point. In business, one of the biggest lessons I've learned over the years is you can't and you must not attempt to do this journey alone. So, don't do it alone. This morning's topic, and then I'm going to deep dive back into my regular content interspersed with some development, is taking inventory. Yes, that is this morning's topic, taking inventory. Taking inventory, and I'm coming at it from a different perspective. When you're trying to develop, redevelop, scale, do whatever in your business, you first have to take a look at where you are currently. If you're starting a business, if you're branching off, if you're trying to revitalize it, if you're trying to figure out why your business isn't growing, you have to take inventory, period. And what do I mean by take inventory? I'm saying this, you have to look at what do you currently have. And that includes yourself. You have to do a self assessment. What skills do you have? What is your temperament? How do you approach problems? How do you see the world? What is your perspective? And I'm going to touch on perspective intently. If you are one of these people who view everything negatively, then no wonder your business is failing. But we're going to get there because my mentor always said you get there, you get where you're going head first. So if you have a negative perspective, then there's a no-brainer that nothing is working because you put a negative tint on everything you touch. So you have to start with a deep dive or a self-assessment of what skills do you currently have. Do you have to upskill? And I'm going to tell you, every phase and every stage of your business, your leadership skills have to upscale. You have to upscale your leadership skills no matter what. So, yes, you upskill your leadership because the leadership that took you to start is not the leadership that takes you to continue. It is not the leadership that takes you to travail tribulations. It's not the leadership that takes you to pivot. It's not the leadership that takes you to pivot. It's not the leadership that takes you to focus, to delegate when you hire a team. It's different levels of leadership. And this misnomer, misunderstanding that seems to be pervasive that there's just one type of leadership and not leadership styles, but that leadership is stagnant and that your leadership can't ever grow and evolve. That's a lie. It grows and it has to grow. It must grow. Otherwise, your business will never grow. The leadership it takes to go from 10,000 to 50,000 to 100,000 to whatever your ultimate revenue goals are different levels of leadership. I want you to keep that in mind. While you're taking inventory, you have to look at where you are. Where are you starting at? You can't get where you're going if you don't know where you are. That's just a basic. What do you have to build with? Everybody wants to say, I don't have anything. I have nothing. I have nothing. You would be surprised at what you have in your community if you just tap into it. And that was a lesson that I learned and relearned recently. I had more at the touch and my fingertips than I thought I did. And what is your destination? I touched on it in my book, and I wanted to read a segment of my book to you this morning, but I forgot my son took my book to do a video as a surprise to me, and I don't have it, so can't read this segment out of my book this morning. However, you have to know where you're going. What are you building towards? That's what I mean by where you're going. What are you building towards? It's just as simple as that. A lot of people have this mythical concept of I'm starting a business and they never sit down and flesh out a plan. And before anybody says, I have a business plan, your business plan is nice. However, what are you building? And when was the last time you touched your business plan? And if you're telling the truth and if you're honest, you haven't touched your business plan since you started your business or you walked into a bank and attempted to get a loan and you failed. And then you just threw your business plan to the side, and your failure in obtaining funding most likely came because your business plan wasn't put together correctly. Because your business plan wasn't put together correctly because you didn't have a full vision when you sat down and put together the plan. And we're going to talk about that. So after you've done your self-assessment and you looked at where you are and you looked at what you're trying to build and you looked at where you're trying to go, what do you need to get there? This is all a part of taking inventory. And once you figure out what you need to get there, what's missing? And keep in mind something somebody else said it and I'm co-opting it. The answer to who, I'm going to change it. The answer to who shouldn't be you. You are not the chief everything officer of your business. And we'll say it again. You are not the chief everything officer of your business. Now, If you intend to be a solopreneur for the rest of your life, and that is the organization that you're building, I'm not talking to you. Since we live in a day where we have to stipulate that. I miss the days where people understood context and nuance, and you didn't have to state the obvious. So if you are a solopreneur and that was the business you're building, then I'm not talking to you on that point. However, if your vision requires a team, then you are not the chief everything officer. So the answer to who should not be you. Sit down and figure out what it is you need. And after you sit down and figure that out, figure out how you're going to get it. Google University and YouTube College are great, but they were meant to be tools to use to get you to where you're going until you can hire and obtain the people to fill the slots. They were not meant to make you an expert. In business, when we want to call ourselves business owners, business founders, entrepreneurs, you have to come out of the employee mindset. That goes back to what do I have? And if you have an employee mindset, and that employee mindset is I have to do everything. No, the entrepreneurial mindset is how do I achieve the goal? And a lot of times the answer is I must hire an expert. And in hiring the expert, YouTube University, Google College, I know I interchanged that, that's okay, allows us to gain enough knowledge so that we know the person who has the experience from the person who doesn't. That is what that is for. It's to help us vet. These are the things that I've learned as I've built my business over the years. And I'm going to tell you, had I implemented them sooner, I would have built a stable and scalable business sooner. Trying to do it on my own and trying to and embracing this mindset of I don't have for as long a period as I embraced it hindered my growth tremendously. And for all of you who are running a business while still employed, your employer is your investor. Siphon off a part of your salary from your job and put it into your business bank account and use that to fund your business. Lay out that plan and go for it. And while you have that job, hire that consultant to help you get your business running. Do it for you can have exponential growth if you take the advice of somebody who admits they made the mistakes. Success leaves clues. Pick up the clues. And one of those clues that I'm sharing with you is when I was still in corporate, when I was investing in my business in corporate, one of those investments should have been hiring one of the coaches that I ran into and using my corporate salary or part of my corporate salary to pay that coach to help accelerate my growth. You can't do it by yourself. Contract Contrary to the lies and the myths being told, you can't. And I'm going to tell you a secret. The idea that hiring a coach is all a scam is born of fear. And people telling you not to hire coaches and not to hire consultants are people who, one, are not walking in your walk, two, are people who do not have a good vetting system themselves, so they're hindering you. Three, low key, some of them people just want to see you fail, so they don't want to see you hire people to help yourself. I'm gonna tell you, Are there free resources? Yes. But those free resources are not designed to help deep dive in your business and pull you up. There comes a point in your business where you have to hire somebody to dig into your business. I know I'm in another coaching program. um, I'm in another program. Now, the program is designed to just kind of mind, give you a reframe once you're at a certain stage in your business. Now, it's a great program so far, but you know what this program has taught me? That I need to hire somebody. Now, at the end of the 12 weeks, I know I'm going to have to hire somebody to help me go deeper into what these 12 weeks are doing. So at the end of the 12 weeks, I'm taking notes. I'm highlighting the areas that I need somebody to help deep dive in. Now, the program is free for me. I had to fill out an application, but the program was paid for by somebody else. I had to fill out an application. I had to get sponsored. But I'm even go here. The program truly isn't free because they expect you to pay it forward. So at the end of the program, I'm expected to mentor the next cohort. So I'm quite frankly, and that my billable hours, the amount of time that I'm expected to mentor at my billable hours, that program is going to cost me $7,000 when I go to mentor the next cohort. So the program really isn't free. I'm not complaining because those what I've gotten so far is worth the $7,000. You have to reframe. You have to shake off that entrepreneurial mindset, and you have to put on that founder's mindset and say to yourself, I have to breathe a new mind. That renewal of the mind. That renewed mind will help you grow. That renewed mind. People who are running around panicking over the TikTok shutdown, they're panicking because they haven't renewed their minds yet. Because the first thing I did was say, okay, fine, I have a presence on every social media platform. So what? I haven't, if social media went away tomorrow, guess what? I have an email list. I still have a way to reach my base. For all of you, I have a subscription program that if you want to join me, join the subscription program, I still have a way to reach my base. But that's because that's the entrepreneurial mind. We cannot walk in the spirit of fear. Fear is the limiter. Fear will have you making costly mistakes. I'm not saying that there are times that I don't worry because I'm sitting here like, okay, I haven't met my financial goal. But then I have to pop back and say how I'm going to meet it. I have a metrics I need to meet because as a business owner, I eat what I kill. You have to constantly refrain. You have to constantly pull yourself back. That's the leadership skills kicking in. You have to kick back. You have to constantly bounce back. Joining communities where you stay encouraged, where other business owners can help encourage you on the way because you're staying in like-minded communities of people who are walking this walk with you. Your friends or your family, your friends and your family, business owners who are also suffering economic downturns and ups and downs and stuff. When I was in corporate and I realized that the CEO was in a mastermind, they called it something else, was in a mastermind where the other companies in the industry, where they shared their problems and they brainstormed, and he paid a hefty sum to be in that mastermind. And they got together and they brainstormed. These are our competitors, but guess what? Your competitors have the same problems you do. And because they paid to be in that mastermind, they didn't take anything out of that mastermind. There was a mutual respect from that mastermind. And I was sitting here and I was like, wow. I sat there in that moment. I was like, wow, that is a component I'm putting in my business. Because if that's what they do at that level, that's what everybody should do at every level. Success leaves clues. You mastermind, you build. Your competitors have the same problems you do. So you come in and you discuss the industry trends and the industry problems. There are so many things that we can do when we take inventory and we understand where we are as a leader, as a founder. And once we understand where we are and where we're going, then we can lay out that blueprint and get it together and find the resources that we need to fill in the blank spots. Now, I'm extending an offer to those who are ready to fill in the blank spots. Now, I offer a $200 consultancy. Now, somebody's going to say $200 is too much money. That's because you're not ready to fill in the spots. Because $200 is not enough. It's not a lot. For those who are ready to fill in the blanks, you can book an appointment, ltacg.as.me. Go to consultancy. You can book your appointment, and I can help you walk through the steps to fill in the spots. You will come out of that consultancy appointment with an action plan to help you get started. So, yes, in this season, in this time, we are ready to take action. We are ready to identify, implement, and to take action. Does that sound good to everybody? I know that sounds good to everybody ready to implement and go to the next level. That sounds good to everybody who's tired of the spin and who's ready to seek help in this season. So, with that, I'm Luciana Turner, your host of Contracting Chatter. We go live daily, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We discuss all things business and government contracting. Now, tomorrow morning, I'm coming back with some government contracting information. So, 'cause there's some interesting things I want to talk about on the contracting world. My podcast, I have a new episode going live this Friday where we're talking about proposal development. So that's in my podcast is called LT&A Contractor Conversations. It's streaming on every platform: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, YouTube podcasts. You can actually watch the video there. So yes, so that's the new podcast episode. You should check out my last episode, which I interviewed Dwayne Williams. He was amazing, where we talked about what LLCs do and don't do for you. That was an amazing episode. That was an amazing episode. So if you haven't started your business yet, check that episode out. If you have started, by the end of that episode, you may want to book a session with Dwayne, and you want to Book a session with me if you want to start in government contracting. And here's the thing I want to close this segment out with. People believe you will only work with one consultant, one mentor, one coach throughout your business. No, you not. No, you won't. You will hire a multitude of consultants because you will hire different people who offer different specialties. I myself have five. I have a marketing coach, and she's awesome. I have a business development coach. I actually have a mindset coach. I have a business to business coach. I have a spiritual coach. You have different coaches to address different areas of your business. I have an operations coach. They specialize in different things. This whole one coach do all things, unless you're hiring an agency, no, you hire different coaches to address different parts of your business. And I believe that's one of the biggest myths in business. You don't do business alone and you hire people according to their specialty. I have a leadership coach and she's amazing. And actually, she's going to be, I interviewed her and I intend to re interview her for the podcast, but she's going to appear in one chapter of my upcoming book, Power Partnering in Government Contracting. So, yes, she's amazing. And she's going to be a speaker, hopefully, at my anniversary event next year. So, it's, so I'm going to end this morning's live with take time at some point today. Don't wait till tomorrow, today to take inventory. And when you take inventory, ask yourself, what do you have? Where are you at? What resource do you have to build with? What do you wish to build? Where are you trying to go with what you're building? What do you need to get there? What are you missing? Book a session with me and we can work those things out. And I will see you tomorrow morning for another installment of Contractors Chatter. I'm your host, Luciana Turner. Have an amazing day. And remember, a stressed mind cannot create. So when you run into those brick walls and you can't figure out the answer, walk away from it, de stress, because your answer comes within the peace. I'll see you tomorrow morning.